The Spurs just got. Oh my God.
Today is a special day. It is the NBA draft lottery. We will finally get to figure out the order of the draft and who is going to get Cooper Flagg. I'm your co-host, Brandon, and I'm here with my guys, Jake and Cameron. How are y'all feeling today?
I'm excited. We get to see who gets to land Cooper Flagg this year, and most likely Dylan Harper as well. They'll both be finding out where they'll spend the first few years of their NBA career. So I'm excited to see what shenanigans the NBA is going to pull with this year's lottery.
Yeah, last few years we have seen a ton of movement up and down. Even last year with Atlanta getting that top pick, moving up almost 10 spots to get to that top pick to get Zaccharie Risacher. So I'm excited to see who ends up getting that top pick. Obviously, Cooper Flagg, kind of known as the top pick, but we all know this is a top-heavy class. So if you're inside that top 4 or 5, we here at League Bound believe you're getting a pretty good player. But Brandon, I want to hear who you think most needs that top pick this year.
I'd say it's between Utah and Washington, but if I had to pick, I would say Washington. I feel like Utah and Washington are kind of in similar spots, although Washington, they do have Alex Sarr, and he was supposed to be the first pick in last year's draft, ended up falling second. But I think where Washington's at, they have a lot of great young pieces, but I still think they need that kind of bona fide superstar. And you could very well say the same thing about Utah. But I think that them getting Cooper Flagg gives them a better direction of where to go in the future. And I will say, while that is they have the second best odds, I would also love to see something kind of similar to last year, where we saw Atlanta jump up 9 spots in the draft lottery. Kind of sucks that a year like that got wasted on. I shouldn't say wasted, but last year obviously it wasn't as strong of a draft class, especially up top. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see something like that again with a team like Portland, maybe Brooklyn as well, because they just need anything as well, even though they're 6th in the slot. Even Dallas, obviously they had a very bad season, so them sliding back up to that top.
They don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it, but I feel for their fans. So.
All right, Cam, how about you?
I think the team that needs it the most is definitely Utah. To me, it's all I agree with you. It comes down to the Wizards and Utah, and to be honest, I just like a lot of Utah's. I like a lot of Washington's pieces more. I kind of see the vision of where they're going as a team. I like a lot of their young guys. The Jazz, I'm kind of iffy on more of their young guys. I really don't know what direction they're going. They have some older guys there that are talented. Lauri Markkanen is really good, but it just hasn't really materialized into much. They've kind of just, on purpose, just been perpetually bad the last few years. And I think their fan base needs it to come to an end.
Yeah, I'm with you. Utah Jazz need this number 1 pick all the way. They've got a ton of young talent that has yet to develop into superstar type players. You've got Lauri Markkanen, like you said, could be a trade piece. I feel like their future could be super fun with getting that top pick. But with that being said, let's send it to the lottery now and see what kind of madness we got.
We're locked in.
Any quick predictions before we see what happens? Any high risers we're thinking?
Lakers in 5. No, I'm playing.
I just want chaos, kind of.
I think the Rockets shoot up.
Who will reveal the lottery picks of the 2025 NBA
They're going to reward the ethical tanking team.
Here we go.
Or ethical non-tanking.
And good luck, everyone.
Why is the camera?
Why is it off center? I was about to say.
The 2025 NBA draft presented by State Farm will be made by the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
That was the Hawks pick.
Yep.
Oh, that's the Hawks.
That stays put.
Murray trade in 2022. The 13th pick goes to the Atlanta Hawks. As expected, Atlanta receives this pick from Sacramento due to the Kevin Huerter trade in 2022.
Atlanta could use a nice mid-lottery pick like that.
The Chicago Bulls.
Huh?
The
11th pick belongs to
It's the big one.
the Portland
Oh,
Trailblazers.
Dallas is in the top.
That means Dallas
There's
is
no way
moving
that's gonna
inside
happen.
the
Oh
top
my
4 in the
gosh.
There's no way that
won the
happens.
lottery.
That is insane.
Look, he look like he. Let me not say that on the law.
The Houston Rockets.
That means Portland.
From Phoenix.
Oh, wait, no,
That's from
Portland
Phoenix.
dropped.
That's from Phoenix.
Multiple previous
Dallas
trades.
They're gonna trade that. I don't think there's any way they take.
That's crazy.
But what
The
if
Toronto Raptors.
That's Houston,
The
right?
Spurs are in the top 4
What?
with 2 teams jumping into
Oh
the
my-
top 4. That means the Sixers will
This
lose
is
their
He looked like he
filthy.
half sleep.
because it's outside the top
This is
6.
filthy, bro.
Oh my.
The 8th pick
He-
in the NBA draft belongs
It's
to
gonna be the Sixers.
the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh wow.
Number 7 will be made by
Oh.
the New Orleans Pelicans.
Oh, y'all keep y'all
Pelicans.
pick. Oh.
Let's.
Out.
So who's left?
Look,
We
watch
got
it be right.
Utah, and
Picking 6,
gonna be
we're gonna see who's staying in the top 4.
the Washington Wizards.
Oh,
top 5
that's
pick?
tough. 2 to 6 for
Correction, now, that
Washington.
means
Well, that'd be
Philadelphia
funny if this
is
next one's
in
Utah.
The top 4, so they make the jump.
Philly.
and suddenly, Jared
Let's
McKay
go.
is
Jesus,
riding
hard.
a roller coaster.
Oh my
Look at
gosh.
Jared.
This is
Sixers
crazy.
are
These
in
are
the
like,
top 4.
It's literally the most interesting teams
The
that could
5th
have got.
pick in the NBA draft will be made by the Utah
oh
Jazz.
my
Wow.
Wow, and the tank
Hey,
continues.
the NBA has a sense of humor. They got a sense of humor. Bro. Like,
And
it's
There's
one.
no way the Hornets get this.
It's
It's
one-
absolutely no way. For storyline, there's no way.
I think they're going to commercial, but it's one thing to not get the first pick, but to not even be top 5. Like,
dude,
don't-
especially in this draft.
don't get me wrong, they can still get good players, but with where they're at and all the guys they have right now, that's not. They need a superstar,
Yeah.
not just another young player.
Yep.
You can-
I
I
think
totally
5
agree.
is like literally the worst spot. Like, where do you go? Like, Utah at 5, Bailey's most likely gone. Edgecombe is probably gone.
Well, hold on.
I like Trey Johnson.
Could we
but-
see something so let's say if Philly doesn't get the top pick, could we see something where Utah trades 5 and Markkanen to Philly to move inside like top 3, we'll say?
I just don't think they can make the money work.
Yeah, Markkanen has a very expensive.
Yeah,
but I
Markkanen-
would
You
be.
could get Paul George out here.
I don't.
I don't-
If I'm Utah, I don't want to
I wouldn't be surprised though if they tried to cook up some sort of pick swap.
like trade up.
Yeah,
That's just a terrible spot to be because like even in a pick swap situation, I think most teams kind of see like that little 5 spot is kind of the drop off. Like I don't necessarily want to go down to 5.
Can you mute this during the commercial?
Oh,
Utah though, that's tough for Utah. The Wizards, that sucks.
Wizards 2 to 6.
Terrible year
Oh my
to get
goodness.
6. Like terrible.
wow. That's just. I
That's a
feel
crazy
like
top 4.
you kind of. I feel like we kind of are looking at the past lotteries and like how they turned out before. I felt like you kind of knew like something like this was going to happen because I don't think any of the projected like top 1 team always gets the pick, but it's still unfortunate that they don't even have a top 3. Like even if
Yeah, I don't think this is like 2 years in a row now where like the top team kind of just slid.
like because last year Atlanta jumped 9 spots, that was just ridiculous. But
Well, we also all said the teams that needed the top pick the most was Utah and Washington,
5
and they're
6.
5 and 6.
yeah,
So
That
they're
is
not even getting like Dillon or Ace Bailey without making some kind of trade up, which is
There's
insane.
definitely some furniture moving inside of the Utah and Washington war rooms. Like there has to be just plain anger.
The 4th pick in the NBA draft goes to the Charlotte
Oh my
Hornets.
gosh.
We're guaranteed to have a crazy.
this is an insane top
Picking
3.
3rd will be the Philadelphia 76ers.
Ace Bailey or Harper for Philly. That's crazy.
Oh, it's
There is no
The
way
second
they got
pick
it.
will
There's
be
no way
the
they-
Spurs are top
The
2.
San Antonio
Oh
Spurs.
my
The Spurs
God.
just got.
The number 1 pick.
Oh
in the
my God.
2025 NBA draft goes to the
they
Dallas
bailed
Mavericks.
Nico out.
This is
Rolando
an-
Blackman, all smiles for
I can't
that
wait for them to
All-Star
trade.
celebration.
Yeah, look at that man. He
They
goes- Oh,
actually
my God.
bailed Nico out.
I can't wait for them to trade him to the Lakers in 5 years.
Okay. And I know reaction gonna be, oh, Nico knew all along. Oh,
He did not know.
no. You know who's the perfect player to put next to somebody like Luka Doncic? Cooper Flagg.
To win
So, I mean, this
Well, they may not have got that pick if they didn't make the trade. You do have to remember.
true, but like I still think it's just awful process. I don't think this vindicates him at all. I do think he's not. Well, I didn't think he was going to get fired this offseason anyway, but
I think he's going to be on very, very thin ice from here. Like,
watch, he's going to take Ace Bailey one. He's just going to do something. Jeremiah
He's going
Fear.
to say, hey, the Kyrie era is not going to last very long. He's got the torn knee up. We need a point guard. We're taking Dylan Harper, number 1.
this is ridiculous, bro. I was going to ask you guys, but I think we kind of already talked about it, who the biggest losers are. And I think it's by far the 2 teams that we said needed this pick the most, and that's Washington and Utah. I mean, it's obviously, as a fan, the outcome that we got is more fun, but I feel like you do have a glimmer of hope. Like I said, obviously you can still maybe try and make moves, especially with just the makeup of the teams that are in the top 4. But I think you would ideally have liked to walk away with at least being somewhere in that top 4, because as Cameron already mentioned, after that top 4, there's kind of you get kind of more into the players who are a little bit more of a question mark, and talent-wise, you're not maybe as high as some of these other guys. So I think for them, you're in shambles right now if you're a fan. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless too, because now that this is hitting me, like, I think this is probably the most insane top 3 we could have gotten. Because like even the Hornets being at 4, like, ridiculous.
And the 76ers being at 3, like, do they stay there? Do they trade? I think all of the top 3 picks could possibly get traded. Like, it's just, I think this is, I thought coming out of tonight, we were for sure going to get, like, at least a for sure Cooper Flagg and a for sure Dylan Harper destination. Like,
Yep.
at least one of the 2 would probably be ready to go house hunting somewhere. I think at least one of those picks, it's hard for me to see all 3 of those picks staying. But
I wouldn't be surprised too if like we see a situation kind of similar to 2014 in the sense that they draft a player and they're like, okay, we'll kind of see how this feels, go through summer league, and then they trade them after the summer league, just deciding they want to go in a different direction. I think it does say something about trying to tank that like it really holds no value, because look at the Dallas, obviously their season took a left turn, but coming into the season, they were trying to compete for a championship, and now they have
played in the play-in tournament,
exactly.
and they got the number 1
the
pick.
Dallas Mavericks
And that's
were
the second-
in the NBA Finals last year.
Yes, and that's this is the second.
Has
year.
that ever happened before?
It might have happened with no, I don't even think, because the Celtics had struggled for a while when they drafted Lynn Bias.
I think one of the big things as well, like we've been talking about with Utah, to have 17 wins in the season, and in order to even get into the top 3, let alone you're at 5, you're probably going to have to trade either some picks you've already acquired from other deals that made you worse, or you're going to have to trade your best player just to have a chance at some of the people you wanted to draft, even though you were the number 1, technically, I guess, tied for the third 3 teams that could have got the number 1 pick to pair with a Lauri Markkanen. And now you might have to move him or some other package just to get inside the top 4 or top 3, which is insane.
I don't even know if it's worth it. Like, I'm at a loss for words. That was probably the wildest outcome that possibly could have happened.